Tesham in front of Lord Brahma and all the demigods. Avirabhut appeared there. Rajan, O King Parikshit. Sahasra of thousands. Arka of suns. Udaya like the rising. Jyutihi his effulgence. Translation. Sri Sukadev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, being thus worshipped with prayers by the demigods and Lord Brahma, appeared before them. His bodily effulgence resembled the simultaneous rising of thousands of suns. There is no purport, so I just go on to read the translations of next few verses till we get to the purport. This is the text number 2, translation. The vision of all the demigods was blocked by the Lord's effulgence. Thus, they could see neither the sky, the directions, the land, nor even themselves what to see. Speak of seeing the Lord who was present before them. Number 3 to 7. Translation. Lord Brahma, along with Lord Shiva, saw the crystal clear personal beauty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose blackish body resembles a Markata gem, whose eyes are reddish like the depths of a lotus, who is dressed with garments that are yellow like molten gold, and whose entire body is attractively decorated. They saw his beautiful smiling lotus-like face, crowned by a helmet bedecked with valuable jewels. The Lord has attractive eyebrows, and his cheeks are adorned with earrings. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva saw the belt on the Lord's waist, the bangles on his arms, the necklace on his chest, and the ankle bells on his legs. The Lord is bedecked with flower garlands, his neck is decorated with Kaustuba gem, and he carries with him the goddess of fortune and his personal weapons like his disc and club. When Lord Brahma, along with Lord Shiva and other demigods, thus saw the form of the Lord, they all immediately fell to the ground, offering their obeisances. No purport again. We go to number 8. Lord Brahma said, although you are never born, your appearance and disappearance as an incarnation never cease. You are always free from the material qualities, and you are the shelter of transcendental bliss resembling an ocean, eternally existing in your transcendental form. You are the supreme subtle of the most extremely subtle. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto you, the Supreme, whose existence is inconceivable. Purport. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swam adhistaya sambhavami atma mayaya. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. In the following verse, in the Bhagavad Gita 4:7, the Lord says, 4:7. Yes. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata adbhutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Thus, although the Supreme Lord is unborn, there is no cessation to his appearance in different forms as incarnations like Lord Krishna and Lord Rama. Since his incarnations are eternal, the various activities performed by these incarnations are also eternal. The Supreme Personality of Godhead does not appear because he is forced to do so by karma, like ordinary living entities who are forced to accept a certain type of body. It is to be understood that the Lord's body and activities are all transcendental, being free from the contamination of material modes of nature. These pastimes are transcendental bliss to the Lord. The Lord Apari Ganye Damne is very significant. There is no limit to the Lord's appearance in different incarnations. All of these incarnations are eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langaitem girim yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. Thank you for all being here this morning. I appreciate Ruby is here. We spoke yesterday about Bhagavatam class and she's like, I will come for the morning program, so thank you, Ruby. There's a few things we can discuss on the 8th canto. 8th canto is very unique because we get very nice pastimes. You get to see the Gajendra's pastimes. Here in this chapter, we are about to see Mohini Murti is going to come and tell us how you cannot behave, that the Lord can come and create an illusion that he has to divert your activities. What other pastimes we could think of in the 8th canto? There is one famous pastime of Lord Shiva here in this I think it's in this same chapter or next chapter coming. Yeah, he drinks the poison. Hala hala. That's why he gets the name Kalakanta. So, very nice canto. It is something that we can get into our system, consciousness, so that we will be getting more advanced in Krishna consciousness, our endeavors to become servants of the servants. In this, we are in a situation where demigods now approached the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I think you all must have heard the story that they offended Durvasa and now they lost everything. They are in a battle with the demigods. Demigods headed by who? Demigods headed by Indra, and demons headed by Bali Maharaj. They're quite unique personalities. We all can learn something from them as well. Now, Bali Maharaj has conquered the whole universe. He has become so powerful because of who? Sukracharya. Because he has put his full faith in worshipping his spiritual master along with all his demon associates. They got all the power to defeat the demons. Now the demigods. Now the demigods in a situation that they have to regain their power, or else they will be out of their positions, out of their posts. Demigods sometimes get attached to their sense enjoyment, their positions and their power, authority. The difference between demigods and Prabhupada explains the demigods and the demons is the difference is one want to enjoy in the mode of goodness, one want to enjoy in the mode of passion and ignorance. So the selflessness is not so much in demons or demigods or compared to the devotees of the Lord. Someone like Garuda or Narad Muni, they're all like super exalted devotees. So it's an eye opener for us how we have to be very detached from these material things, that we don't get caught up and then we have to kind of end up in the heavenly planets, taking one of those positions. Have you ever thought that okay, you do some piety, you end up in the heavenly planets, you get one of the posts of Indra's assistant, or like somewhere you're going to enjoy this material world. But have you ever thought someone like Yamadutas, how do they get their positions? no one desires for them, right? How many of us do austerities to become Yamaduta? Not many of us. But how do they end up there? They are also jivas like us. They are in the material world. What makes them? Have you ever thought that? I never thought till I heard from a senior Prabhupada disciple say this. It's like, have you ever thought? I was like, no, I never thought about it. You are in the higher planetary system, and you are not getting closer to Krishna. Rather, you are being put in a service that you have to constantly punish. Who are Yamadutas? They are like basically like policemen, right? They are harsh. Our Christopher recently got some treatment from them. So if these police are harsh like this, they know how to punish the jivas. You are being promoted into the hellish planets where you're going to take up the same positions. So you have to be careful what positions we, even in the material world, what we take. We're going to be elevated, that we're going to take up the same position there. So it's like a warning sign. Be careful with your positions and things. Again, we could learn from the demigods in this scenario that they humbled themselves. They became very submissive. They approached Brahma. They took Shiva with them. They went to Shvetadvip to see Lord Vishnu. Now they're not getting a permanent, they're approaching the Supreme Lord who is like Sarva Karana Karanam, right? He's the cause of everything. But the Supreme Lord is not telling them that, I'll give you some weapon that you can destroy all the demons. He didn't do that. He said, the time is not right. If you go further in the story, you have to kind of come in, you have to work with the demons. It's like, imagine you're being harassed by the demons, and now the Supreme Lord is telling them, it's like a bitter pill, isn't it? Sometimes we go through this, you have to work with the devotee who you don't like at all. It's like, this devotee, okay, thank you, Krishna. So it's all about our own humility. That's what pleases the Supreme Lord. That's why He puts us, even the jivas, in a scenario where we have to learn to soften our heart. There is no such thing called as, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the conversation between Sanatana Goswami and the Lord, there is no such thing called as bad or good in this material world. The only thing is how we are going to soften our hearts, how dear we are going to become to the Lord. That should be our, sometimes we get into some kind of communication breakdowns or not things going nicely. We always try to I'm trying to talk about myself. No, I said this very nicely, but the devotee took it wrong. But that doesn't make it right. It always proves you have to improve something. You have to always be submissive to devotees. You always have to learn the art of how we going to advance, ourselves and others as well in the path of Krishna consciousness. As it is explained, there is no such thing called as good or bad. No point of arguing, no point of convincing the world that I am right. Yes, approaching the authorities again can be seen here that the devatas approach the Supreme Lord with a lot of submissive mood. When we approach, we should always have this submissive mood. We should not be going with the mood that I am right, I know better than you, Guru Maharaj, I know better than you. I'm going to tell you something. You have to agree that. Unfortunately, that's not the case with Janananda Maharaj. The minute you go, you get the stick. So. Prabhupada was once approached by a businessman. He was telling Prabhupada all about his glories. Prabhupada, I have so many businesses. Prabhupada, I'm so successful. I had this factory there, this factory there. But Prabhupada, we Indians, we have this tendency. It's so difficult. I cannot even sleep at night. I have so much. I have so much. Prabhupada said, looks like you're going through a lot of difficulty. Prabhupada said. So I'll find you a solution. We have an organization, we have a society. Give all of your businesses to ISKCON. We will look after all of them. We have manpower, we have able managers, You can be peaceful. I know you can chant Hare Krishna. And this man was like, Prabhupada, okay, I will see you later. Time to leave. Be careful. If someone like, spiritually advanced means they're even on the material platform of their mind is also sharp. They can really humble us. Prabhupada said, okay, just leave us your address. No, Prabhupada, I'll see you later. Prabhupada, give us your telephone number. Enough, Swamiji, I better escape. In India, we have this. We go to a Swamiji to take something, or Prabhupada was completely unique. Is showing us you don't go to a sadhu to boast yourself or ask for something. And on the contrary, here we could see Lord Chaitanya approached his spiritual master. He has been criticized by the Mayavadis. This famous verse for Prakashananda Saraswati. Murka sannyasi nija dharma nahi jane, bhavuka iha era pera, bhavukera sane. The famous verse that he calls Lord Chaitanya a fool. Prakashananda Saraswati says that he is a sentimentalist, and what does he do? He hangs around sentimentalists. Bhavukera sane. He is associating with the same kind of sentimentalist. First word he uses is murka. Murka sannyasi nija dharma nahi jane. Murka means fool. How many of us will stand in front of our spiritual master when he calls us a fool? He'll be like, you call me a fool, But Lord Chaitanya is setting us the example that it's the humility, He's the Supreme Lord Himself, Chaitanya Charitamrita is such a scripture that it shows that every single thing can be done with humility, corrections, necessarily anything needs to be done, can be done in a Krishna conscious way. This is what Lord Chaitanya is showing us, when he approaches Ishvara Puri. You're a fool, Why you're trying to read Vedanta? What you do is just chant Hare Krishna. Now Lord Chaitanya is like speaking back to Ishvara Puri. Kiba mantra dila goshai, kiba tarabal, japite mantra, karila pagal. He's saying that, what mantra you gave me? What mantra you gave me? Japite mantra, the more I chant, it's making me pagal. It's making me crazy. And Ishvara Puri says, that is the goal of life. Imagine that, It's like, I'm becoming crazy and someone is telling, that's the goal of life. You achieve the perfection. So, and we all chant Hare Krishna. I don't think any of us are here reading Vedanta Sutras. Why are we not becoming pagal? Offenses. Offenses block us. Offenses. We take the Maha Mantra for granted. We take the devotees for granted. We take the Maha Prasadam for granted. How when we come to the temple first time, how we are all like, wow, this is, Mahaprasad, you get everything is like transcendental, everything is like devotees, wow, everyone is like from Vaikuntha, everyone is in dhoti, kurta, it's like everyone is like effulgent, So everything is wow in the beginning, but what is that English saying? Yeah, so sometimes we have to be like, we have to look at the basics one time, are we doing things nicely? Is it something wrong with my the way I think, the way I accept, am I doing? That's why we always need someone who can set us an example. Senior Vaishnavas, who are going to guide us. They show us by their example, It's always some kind of surprises you get, when you are with Vaishnavas who are quite advanced and they don't act on the platform of their ego or their envy. It's this is very important, sadhu sangha, that can kind of guide us on this path of humility. And in this purport, it is explained about incarnations. Incarnations of the Supreme Lord. The word avatar means descending, the supreme descending, but nowadays the word is not being used directly towards the Supreme Lord. There is movies being made. Avatar means someone changing their form or something, but avatar in general means only talks about the Lord, how he incarnates in the material world to help the conditioned souls. I made few points. I can go through this. Yes, and we could see that in this whole pastimes, why is that when the Supreme Lord appears in front of the demigods, they couldn't see him. Only Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma could see him. Anyone can say anything about it? Only the Supreme Lord was being seen by Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, and the demigods were all there. They couldn't see anything. They couldn't see themselves.
There's no purity.
Exactly. There's no purity. Tinged with some kind of motivation. That's why we should approach the Supreme Lord with the motive of service. We should not have any kind of selfish. Of course, in the beginning stages, we approach for some kind of self-interest. You cannot be anya bilashita sunyam right from day one. But as the progress of our spiritual life begins, we should be always, how am I going to please you, Lord? What service I can do to help to spread your mission, my Lord? This should be the always our agenda. Whatever it takes to please the Supreme Lord, whatever I can do, that should be our approach towards the Supreme Lord. The Lord controls his birth. Again, it is explained in the purport that the Lord is in charge of his descendancy. He is not being forced to take birth like us. He's karanam daiva. What is that verse? Karanam daiva netrena. Sorry, I cannot get the verse. So we are being forced because of our karma to take a certain type of body. It is not our choice. How many of us decided that I'm going to be taking birth in Spain in a certain body, in India with a certain body? But for the Supreme Lord, it is not the cause. It is not the case. He is independent. He is Swarat. He is not depending on anyone. He is coming only for the purpose of helping his devotees and establishing religious principles. The Supreme Lord it's very difficult aspect for us to accept that he is the supreme and we feel because we have the two hands, two legs, we feel his birth is similar to our birth, but the reality is it's not the same. The Supreme Lord is coming here to get us out of this cycle of birth and death, just like Prabhupada gives this example that when the king goes to the prison, is the king going there with an authority, with the power. He is not there being put as a prisoner. Rather, the king can do anything. He can liberate people in the prison, or he can even close down the prison if he wants. This is the Supreme Lord. He is independent. He is not depending on the material modes or the gunas or the elements, these 24, 26 elements, or no, he's totally aloof of all these things. Yes, and one more point I could discuss about is when we think we are in the temple, we are doing so many services to the Lord, and we are good at so many things individually. We could be good at cooking, we could be good at dressing the deities, cleaning the temple, making garlands. But sometimes we think that I'm very advanced, that's why I could do this garland so beautifully, isn't it? I could do things nicely because of my spiritual advancement, but the reality is I could do these things because of what? Because of my karma. We mix up these two things, spiritual advancement and our karma, our talent, our skill, our ability to do things is independent to our spiritual advancement. Yes, whatever we have, we should offer it to Krishna. Whatever skill we have, even if we don't know, do some things, we learn and we do for things for Krishna. Again, the aspect of how it is going to be related to the Supreme Lord. Are we going to be like thinking, I can cook better than you, I can do these things better than you? Is it going to bring us the mood of competition in a spirit of putting ourselves up better than others? Are we going to see that this is my karma which is being given an opportunity to serve the Lord? I'm going to spiritually make this advancement that I will. Yes, we could see that I have made this advancement, I have made this progress. I must be very spiritually strong. But excuse me, next life you could be taken birth as a monkey in Vrindavan. What about your skill? It's not about our skill, it's not about our talent, it's about how much we are detaching and how much we are attaching to the service of the Supreme Lord. Very, very subtle thing, it's very good to do nice things to Krishna. At the same time, we have to have a kind of look at our own ego. Is it like, going up or going down? This is the sign that which will tell us that better be careful when you are doing things, especially like being in the association of devotees. It's like Prabhupada said, it's like using a razor sharp knife. Sometimes we unknowingly cut ourselves. We have to be careful how we deal, how we pursue our ego. I could explain a little story about this, how the demons and the demigods kind of came to a truce. How do you say that, Bhagavati Mataji? Truce. And they came together, and he was ruling the universe, Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj was so powerful. He was, as I said, he was controlling the universe. But when this rod of Mandara mountain had to be lifted up, they all came together, Bali Maharaj and Indra and all the devatas and the demigods. But he personally couldn't lift, none of them could lift the rod. The Supreme Lord had to intervene again. He lifted with one hand. So it is clear how much skill we have, how much powerful we are, how much talented we are. It's until unless we get the mercy of the Supreme Lord, everything is like back to zero. Now they kind of did the churning. The Supreme Lord said to the demons, to the demigods, don't aspire for anything, whatever is coming. Just be patient. Don't be in a rush. And then all this poison and surabhi cow, everything comes. At the end, nectar, amrit also comes. Amrit means the word, Sanskrit word mrita means death. Amrit is anti-death, it's like which can give you immortality. So the demigods aspired for it, and demons also aspired for it. Now the Amrit is here. The deal was the demons and the demigods wanted to share among themselves. The Amrit pot is here. So first the demons kind of decided that it has to be distributed among themselves. Now again predicament, the problem which the demigods cannot solve. So who come to help them? Yeah, Krishna comes in the form of Mohini Murti. Mohini Murti. He Kurma goes down under the Mandara mountain to help the demons and the demigods, because even they couldn't find somewhere they can base the Mandara mountain. Everything you could see, everything is depending on the Supreme Lord. Nothing, we are independent nowhere, just that minute independence we have. So Mohini Murti starts to distribute the nectar. He starts to somehow mesmerize. I'll give you later, they were all trying to lust after her. She was so beautiful that they couldn't resist the demons. But one guy, he wanted to cheat the Supreme Lord, Who was this one guy? Rahu. Rahu is quite famous in India when we are kids, Yeah, you cannot see the moon when there is, what is that? Eclipse. During the eclipse, you have to stay indoors. You cannot even open your windows. You cannot go out. So he saw the nectar was being given to the devatas, not for the demons. So he quickly ran and took the pot and drank some. And Mohini Murti saw him and sent the Sudarshan. His head was cut off. His body died, but his head took the nectar. So it is said that he's still alive. He's causing this eclipse regularly. So he is there and he's teaching us that we have to respect but Prabhupada explained that there is a confusion that people get mixed up with the moon and the Rahu. There is two different planets. Prabhupada even said that the astronauts went not to the moon planet, but they may have gone to the Rahu planet. Okay, all my points I think come to an end, I guess. Gopaswami Prabhu asked me something which I couldn't fulfill. I thank all the devotees for being here, and please forgive me if I said something not bona fide, especially senior Vaishnavas. Any comments, questions, corrections? Mataji?
Thank you for the lecture. I have one comment about when you connected the service with the karma, all talents. In Pancharatrika, Srila Prabhupada said that actually they are doing service as instrument for the hand of our spiritual master. And he is offering our service to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara. So we are only
instruments, a servant.
Yes.
Yes. Very good point. Thank you. Yes, we are das anudas. Whatever skill we have, it's because of Guru and Krishna. We forget that sometimes. Anything else? Mother Bhagavati?
You were talking about being humble. But sometimes saying something can be humility. Because sometimes if you don't say something, it's like you're protecting your false ego. It's easier not to say something.
Yeah.
And sometimes saying something, this is wrong, or this is not right, or saying something that's the truth, you actually get in trouble. It would be heavier for your ego, but sometimes trying to say something will be actually humble.
Yeah. Yes. It's very true. Gopaswami Prabhu would like to say something about it.
You started strong class, no point of arguing if I'm right. It's not so easy. Not arguing, and just being bored. Of course, like Mataji said, can be avoided. Not for you, but you feel so relieved when you don't stop arguing because I'm right, you're wrong, and just see Krishna purifying. What about India? So Prabhupada speaks about avatars, Krishna descending like that. So, how is it that in the West we don't have, how is it that in India, people are so pious and intelligent and not so much guna, but still they accept any crazy guy as avatar.
Yeah.
It's really strange, you know. This really obviously,
Yeah.
you know, cheater.
Yeah.
And you have, you know, big cars around him, big, you know, big personalities, exactly with the avatar.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's strange. I mean,
Yeah.
in the West, we are, you know, mentioned at least somebody comes and I am God, you know, it's ludicrous, you know. But in India, you know, they accept, you know. How do you explain that?
Sorry?
It's a kind of innocence like children.
Oh.
Yeah.
They have this, that's my point of view, they have this innocence of just, you know, everyone should be sincere, everyone, so, you know, if this one is saying that, he must be sincere. But in the West, we have a little bit this side of being puffed up. If I'm not God, this guy cannot be God.
Yeah, probably that's one. But in India, the problem is now everyone is going for. We see, you know, when I was growing up, we were watching HBO, you know, all this Western TV channels, and we want to be like them. When I was growing up, it's so much influence of Western, because America is like a Vaikunta basically for an Indian, you know. It's like whatever you want, you will get it through money, because we don't have money there. We don't have so much money, you know. You have little money. The Krishna always gives you what you need. That inquisitiveness is being diverted towards how I'm going to adjust my material life, that I will be, you know. He went to America, now he came back, he has few cars, few houses. Why am I not doing that? So it's being, and then, you know, meanwhile, if I don't get what I want, I will go to a Swami, he will give me something, you know. One of my uncle, I wanted to leave to Australia, one of my uncle took me to a Swami, you know. It's funny story. This Swami, you know, beetle leaf, he put something, and I don't know what he did, but my uncle took me there, you know. Even for growing up as a kid, Sai Baba, you know, this long-haired Sai Baba, he was like just 60 kilometers away from me. I personally seen him. I never felt that, you know, he's God. I never inclined towards this kind of, like, you know. But I saw Prabhupada. I heard first time Prabhupada, I could say, this is truth. This is absolute truth. He's a saintly man. You know, even in India, I was always skeptical about Swamis. You know, even Prabhupada was himself when his friend asked him to go. But the minute you saw, I don't know, this Maha Mantra, I went to ISKCON temple, I never joined there, you know, I was never serious. But I had this some kind of feeling, he looks bona fide, he looks genuine for me. I never had negativity towards Prabhupada, even like being a kid, you know. But this attitude of, like, you know, Baba's taking a gold ring out or giving you the ash, you know, it's like, yes, you know, that's why we go there for. We need some siddhi, we need some power. You know, my mom did some vrata, went to probably 20 astrologers, you know, when is my son going to get married, you know, some demigod vrata, you know, it's like, I want something. This Swami can give me this. Now Swamis can cure cancer, Swamis can take out your stomach ache, you just give 1,000 rupees. Swamis have no value, you know. There is a latest Swami in South India, he comes from the same state as I come, you know, he can cure stomach ache. How great it is. You know, there is one bona fide Swami from Shankaracharya's school, you know, he challenged this, he speaks Sanskrit, you know, this Shankarite sannyasi is bona fide, definitely, you know, anyone can tell, anyone who has got knowledge. You know, he's asked him to come for a debate, you know, why are you cheating people, you know, this is not the business of a Swami, you should be debating, you know. You know, it's like an eye-opener for Indians also. But still, like, India is growing spiritually in one way, to tell you the truth, you know, but what kind of spirituality is it? But we are, you know, overall, I think about all this, you know, the Swamis, and it's like, thank you, Krishna, you brought only Prabhupada out of India to give the success to the West, you know. Imagine if Swami Vivekananda, Swami Chinmayananda, they all become super famous like Prabhupada, you know. We all will be like doomed like anything, but it's only ISKCON which is like waving its green flag all over the world, you know. It's we are very fortunate, only Prabhupada did it, you know. That's the purity, that's the desire of a pure devotee, you know. Anything else, anyone?
One thing special about Srila Prabhupada is
Srila Prabhupada put Krishna on the throne.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
didn't put himself on the throne.
Exactly.
All those persons, they are putting themselves
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
middle, and when they are gone,
Yeah.
they don't know what to do after.
Yeah, exactly. This Ravi Shankar, or they're all so famous now. Sadhguru, you know, Sadhguru is famous. You know, what happens to their foundations after they leave? I went to Puttaparthi, you know, after Sai Baba left. I go there. There is a big shopping thing. People come and dump things. You can buy suitcases for like 10, 5 euros. You know, like I go there for. I wear a big Mahamantra T-shirt, and you know, I do cheeky things. So you go there. What is there now? Just a shopping place. Once the year they all come for Sai Baba's birthday, but Prabhupada left 1977. What is ISKCON? You know, this is, you know, pure devotee. They never put themselves ahead of Krishna. Such a good thing that Prabhupada is showing us, to put Krishna ahead always, always. You know, how many of them, Ravi Shankar, or they're all so famous now, Sadhguru, they're all like on the media, like 1 million views. It's like Sadhguru is like a, you know, celebrity, you know, it's like this guy is so famous. How many of them even talk about Krishna properly? They are themselves, you know. This is Prabhupada, pure devotee, always Krishna. Temple for Krishna, you know. Okay, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.